Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another review on the team of the season, ODSONNE EDOUARD. We're going to go through the card as details, that's clips and summary. Before we get into all of that, guys, so please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below what your thoughts are on this card and if you're going to be grabbing it. And now, let's get into the review. So guys, this is the team that I use ODSONNE EDOUARD in. I played him, of course, in the top of that team in the striker position in a 4-2-3-1. And guys, I have to say, my first impression of this card, for the price that you're getting on this card, I think this is a really decent card. Really nice linkability as well, considering his nation. We'll get more into that in the summary. Let's just get into the player himself. ODSONNE EDOUARD, 6'2", high medium work rate, right footed, 4 stars enemies, 4-star weak foot, 7 games played, 9 goals scored, and no assists. Now, guys, I did pack this one. It was a nice little pack pull to get. 6'2", good height, high medium work rate is really nice as well. 4 stars enemies, 4-star weak foot, really all lovely stuff. 7 games played, 9 goals scored. Now, that doesn't really truly reflect how well he played. I am getting up in the divisions, guys, and it is getting more difficult to score a lot of goals with these strikers. So I feel like this card did reasonably well considering where we are playing in the divisions right now. In terms of chemistry style, guys, I put the Maestro on him, but I do feel like there's a couple of ways you can go with this card. We will get more into that in the final summary. Getting into the key stats, guys, the key pros of this card, I think the pace is good. I don't think it's as high as what the card would suggest. I think it's in the high 80s, but nevertheless, for such a big striker, that is really nice to have. I think his finishing is pretty decent. His dribbling isn't half bad either. And his general physicality is fantastic, guys, particularly his heading, really great in that aspect. In terms of the cons, guys, his reactions do hold him back a little bit. You will need to boost that a bit. His passing and link-up play can be a little bit shoddy at times, so boosting that as well will help him out a lot. His aggression, a little bit low, so does lose some of those 50-50 battles that you want him to be able to win. And his long shots, guys, do need a helping hand too, so just something else to bear in mind. In terms of the player traits, he's got the finesse shot trait, the flare trait, the chip shot, and the technical dribbler, all lovely traits to have in a striker card. And now that we've covered that, let's get into some of the clips that I got with him. So guys, getting to some of ODSONNE EDOUARD's clips, and what you guys are going to see is, of course, that general big man play that he has up front and all the ability that he has despite being such a cheap card. And looking at how well he can play in that striker spot. Now, the first thing I want to get into, guys, is his speed. Now, he is fairly quick, guys, especially in straight line running. He doesn't feel as quick as the 90 pace would have you believe, the 90 plus pace would have you believe. I think this card is, of course, very physically capable, but he does not feel as fast as what the card would suggest. In terms of his dribbling, guys, which kind of leads directly from the pace because they're so intertwined this year. His dribbling is good, guys. I do feel like you can't be too technical with this card. You can do skill moves. I'm not a big skiller, so I found it a little more difficult to move with this card considering how big he is. So therefore, although his dribbling was good for a big man, that's all relative, and I feel like you have to really consider the dribbling on this card being not as good as you would like it to be, especially for this stage of the game. However, guys, I would say, again, for a big man, he is a very good dribbler. In terms of the passing, guys, actually I was pleasantly surprised with the right chemistry style being the Maestro. I felt like his passing and link up play was very good. He was able to create chances for me and hold up the ball well, link up the play well, play that proper big man role. As you guys can see, there are nice little spinning passes and things like that. Getting into the next point, guys, which is his shooting. Now, this is probably the most important factor of this card, other than the best thing about this card, which is his physicality, which we'll get into. The shooting is good. I do feel like it's inconsistent at times, and you guys will have seen a number of misses that he's had for me as well. A lot of the time just blasting it straight at the keeper. He's got a very powerful shot. However, I do feel like his finishing is lacking just a little bit and could be a bit better. However, I'm not going to complain too much. This card is relatively cheap and is able to finish relatively well, so can't have it all. In terms of the final thing, guys, which I want to talk about, it is his physicality, and this is the best thing about this card by far. He is so physically capable and strong. It's very Drogba-esque in terms of the power, maybe not quite that high, but in terms of just how he's able to move around defenders, get into spaces, especially with that dribbling and turning, it's very Drogba-esque in how he moves, and he finishes tremendously well on top of that. So it just helps overall, having that physicality, size, and strength, helps on the corners, helps on the headers in a bunch of ways. What you guys are going to see in this final few clips is just the same again, more of the finishing, a header here that he managed to score from me, and you guys can see that physicality there. And in this final one, again, another lovely finish once he turns inside here, getting the goal past the keeper. So guys, getting into this final ODSONNE EDOUARD summary. 105k on the PlayStation, 108 on the Xbox, and 110 on the PC. Now guys, looking at the key stats, I think his sprint speed is good. I don't think it's that high. His dribbling is fairly good as well, but again, his body type and his size really affect how quickly he's able to move. So again, take that with a pinch of salt when you are looking at these stats. In terms of his physicality, tremendous guys. His aggression's a little low, but actually I didn't notice that much. He's able to bully defenders really well and fight for the ball as well. In terms of chemistry style, guys, if I was to recommend a chemistry style, I think you need to focus on the shooting, of course, and maybe focus on parts of the dribbling. And Maestro does a lot of favors for him as well, helps his link up play too, and allows his long shots and shot power just to go up as well. Puts his reactions up to a really good level, which is actually a really weak point of this card. You do need to help that out, otherwise when you're moving with this guy, dribbling with him, he'll be quite slow and clunky. In terms of similar players, guys, I do feel like Karim Benzema is a very good shout in terms of comparable player. I feel like obviously this ODSONNE EDOUARD is a much quicker player than that card. I do feel like that he's got shades of a lot of these players, but really because of his size and combination, a lot of his playstyle reminds me of Alexander Isak, the Future Stars card, but obviously a better version of that in terms of size, capability, dribbling, movement, all that stuff. Very similar to that Alexander Isak card. In terms of linkability, guys, he's got some strong links there to some other Celtic players. Perfect links, sorry, strong links to French icons, as well as, of course, other Celtic players, which are in there too. Which leads me into the price comparison, guys. Now, again, we won't pay too much heed to this in terms of what he's worth, but again, he's sitting at around 105k, and whether that is worth it or not, I think, guys, that he does need to drop off a little bit in terms of the price. I do feel like right now that 100k is a little bit high for this card. This card is good, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's so many other cards out there right now that you're able to pick up. For example, the 92 Benzema, who is a very technically capable player, more so than ODSONNE EDOUARD for sure. So I think this card does need to drop a little bit. I think it will drop below the 90k mark, maybe even around the 80k mark, maybe even lower than that. When he does go to that point, I do think this is worth it, which leads me into my final recommendation, guys, is again, like a lot of these players, wait until the price drops off and then pick him up for your squad after that. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please do smash that like button. Until next time, I will see you all in a bit.